Hello again. Britain's Law Commission is currently examining the law on hate speech and suggesting important changes. Some of these are ringing alarm bells about free speech. Currently, for example, it's an offence to use words or behaviour in a public place which is likely to incite or encourage racial hatred. This is something of a blunt instrument, but broadly speaking, it's probably not a bad thing to have a law which stops anybody trying to stir up a mob to lynch a black person or burn down a synagogue, for example. There's an exception to the law where words or behaviour are used, or written words displayed, where they are within a dwelling, provided they cannot be seen or heard outside. In other words, if I want to rave on about the Jews or blacks in my own home to my family or friends, the law as it stands cannot touch me. Of course, there's already a law relating to conspiracy, which means that if I discuss committing a crime with somebody, even in my own home, that is a criminal offence. So suppose I want to plot with others to rob a bank or assassinate the Prime Minister or attack some racial minority, then I can already be arrested and convicted, even if the offence takes place within my own home. I think, in other words, that the law is quite sufficient as it stands. What the Law Commission recommends, and their recommendation will probably be adopted, is that the law on what is known as hate speech should be extended. First, the defence that the word or actions are only in private will be removed. This is a problem because at the moment it's a crime to express hatred or hostility towards certain protected categories. These are race, religion, sexual orientation, disability and trans status. In other words, as things stand, I cannot jeer at somebody in a wheelchair in public and mock him or her for being disabled. This is reasonable enough, perhaps. If the law changes, though, it will mean that I cannot express hostile views towards gay people, Jews or Muslims in my own home. This really is a bit much. If I say something to a friend like, "Oh, Muslims really get on my nerves, I wish there weren't so many living round here," this would become a crime. Even if I'm not planning to harm anybody, it's enough that I've expressed hostility. That's not all, though. The strong recommendation is also being made that the categories of protected characteristics are expanded to include sex, gender and age. This is quite loopy. At the moment, people can, and they do on here regularly, dismiss me as an old idiot. And quite right too. They should have every right to do so. If the law is, let's face it, we still have the right to say things like, "Oh, you young idiot," or dismiss someone as an old fool. If the law's changed as is planned, though, these phrases will be in the same class as racist abuse or homophobia. Saying in my own home something like, "Oh, bloody women, they're all the same," will be treated in exactly the same way as though I've gone to the local mosque and shouted racist remarks at the worshippers. I provide a couple of links in the description to this video about these proposed changes. Don't misunderstand me. I detest racial prejudice, anti-Semitism and bad behaviour towards people who have a disability. But that's a very different thing from wanting people to be prosecuted for, say, denying the Holocaust or moaning that they're against immigration or don't want to live next door to a mosque while they're in their own home. If these changes come, it will be the end of free speech as we understand it.